Are we live now? Is that we
Yo, what's
live?
good, man?
What's up, bro? They done messed up. They didn't let us get together.
Right. For real, man. It's a
how,
wrap.
how you living? How you living, champ?
Good, good. How you been? How's the move been? Working in a whole new city and everything.
Man, it's been easier. It's been an easier transition than I thought. Like just like
Mm-hmm.
literally getting out here, but
Yeah.
I'm still adjusting. And
Okay.
it's weird because of the pandemic and all of that. But I'm in good
Yeah.
spirits, man. I'm loving it. Loving my new space. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying life, bro. How about you, man? What's going on with you?
Nothing much, man. Got a baby on the way, so
I
that's
see.
like the biggest
Congratulations.
thing. Thank you, thank you. It's just like every day is crazy. Like you could forget, I could forget Ashley, my fiance, is pregnant, and then literally she'll show her belly, and I'll be like, oh damn, that's right, I'm a dad. Like I'm about to be a dad on the way. So just been getting adjusted to that, just getting stuff prepared. So
I feel that, man. Hey, in the comments, can we get some clapping hands going for my brother Kyle? Got a baby on the
thank
way.
you,
Got a
man.
wedding
Thank
on the
you.
way. It's a stand-up brother right there. Get some clapping hands going in there. So I definitely appreciate you coming on, bro. You were definitely like when I was thinking about people to have on, you was for
Hmm.
sure on my short list, and I'm glad we got the time to be able to chop it up today. So I'm just gonna start real general, and if
Okay.
you can, bro, introduce the world to Kyle Mack and tell them who you are.
Absolutely, absolutely. I go by the name of Kyle Mack. I'm an artist, I'm a musician, I'm a songwriter, I'm a rapper. Shoot, even throw an entrepreneur in there. But what I do is, man, I just love making music.
That's what's up, bro. And could you tell us more about? So you said a few different things there, and
Hmm.
a musician, and then also entrepreneur. So tell us about the music side. What got you into
Okay.
that, and then what type of entrepreneur ventures you got going on.
Yeah, so honestly, in the crazy, so I guess I'll start. Music, I just where should I start? Like I don't even know how. I don't want to say I don't know how I got there, but since I was this young, just started dealing with music, started writing poetry, and then the poetry evolved around that high school time frame into that music. And then as far sorry, I'm getting off track. But
Tell your truth,
I'm
brother.
sorry.
Tell your truth.
But like, so I guess I want to interrupt. I guess the entrepreneur. I don't really even have a venture going on. Like I consider what I do as being an entrepreneur because it's a lot of work that goes into that, and that I consider me an entrepreneur because I have my own LLC. I have my own label. I do everything on my own. It's all essentially in house or independent. So that's why I would say I'm an entrepreneur. But back to the music, just I do music, I rap, I write as well. I've been trying to. One thing I would like to do is get into ghostwriting, but I kind of just slowly coming up with that. But like I said, doing music started when I was young, but I'll get more into that, a little bit deeper once we get more in the interview. But just everything I love doing, music, making it a business, taking that business forward.
Absolutely, and on that entrepreneurship badge, bro. Like you said, you got your own LLC. You're doing it on your own. So yeah, you are the
Yeah,
business, basically.
yeah, absolutely.
So let me see what else I got for you. So I know you had mentioned like you started doing poetry like in high school and stuff like that. And then
Yeah.
just for me, like listening to your music and stuff like that, I can kind of like get a sense of that. Like it makes
Hmm.
more sense when you say that, and then thinking about the tracks of yours that I've listened to,
Yeah.
it kind of got that type of vibe. But what would you say like really got you interested in like even doing poetry, or is that just how your mind worked? Like kind of like take us into the mind of the artist Kyle Mack.
So really it was just when I was younger, I like doing poetry. I like the rhyming aspect of everything. And just you could get your thoughts out. Like you could say whatever's on your mind and it's just a creative outlet. But then like as I just grew older, I started that those poems transformed into writing songs, and then I would say by the time I was out of high school, when I was in high school, that was the time I was writing full songs. By the time I left high school, I entered college my first year. I'm like, man, I'm ready to lay these tracks down, or I'm ready to start, doing something with music, recording it wise, rather than just writing in a notebook and being like, oh yeah, I write music by the way, or I do music by the way. So I just wanted to kind of show where my head was at or what I love about it. And that's when as soon as I, someone showed me how to get in the studio, like it was a wrap. I just took off after that.
Yeah, and I remember because we had first met around like one of our events that we were doing for the collab.
Yep.
And you had signed on to be a performer. And then when you were like, what had amazed me is that when you were kind of telling us about your musical journey and stuff like that, you had said like you had only been doing it like maybe like seriously for like maybe a year or a couple of years at that point in time.
Yeah.
And like I was fascinated because I'm like, it sounded like you've been in the stew like since you was 15 or something. So like, so and you have an interesting journey in regards to that as well, because I know that you were definitely like, incorporating and stuff like that, and then doing the music as well. You also went to school and you got
Yep.
your MBA, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shout out
Got
to
my
that
MBA
MBA.
from shout out Northwood University. Got the MBA from there.
That's what I'm talking about. That big NBA energy. That's what we need.
Yeah.
That's what we need in the world. So how have you been able to incorporate that education into what it is that you do on the music side?
It's crazy because like at one point I was like, man, this MBA just feels like it's just schoolwork. Like it doesn't feel like it has any relation or any connection. And the more I started, like you were saying, I was focusing in on my music, and I had my LLC by that point. I'm trying to do everything full-fledged business-wise and thinking like, if I was somebody in the industry, how would you do this? How would you do that? And the management program is literally, it taught me, like, I was doing some of those steps that I didn't realize that I was doing. Like, it was able to make me realize how to really better manage myself, and without even being like, you should be doing this in the music industry. It was just showing me different aspects of the business worldwide, and I just took pieces of that and I tried to connect it with the music, and that's what helped me make it more relatable and more understandable when I was taking those classes.
And that's dope, bro. Like it's definitely like you said, when you in it, it's a different feeling, because you're just like, this is like, I could probably do without it. But then when you kind of like take away the things that really stick with you, you
Yep.
see like how they plug into play in the different things in real life, especially when it comes to like doing business just in general, and
Yes.
and making sure your money right, making sure your paperwork right, and all those type of things. So like your journey as kind of like an artist, like are you full-time into your artistry now, or
Yeah, so now I'm full-time rapper, full-time music. Just literally I wake up, I try to do something immediately, like music related. That way my mind's already there, and just try to elevate every day, try to do something, that I know is going to help improve my music or make an impact from my music.
Absolutely. Hey, can we get some claps? Can we get some claps once again? Shout out to that. Shout
I
out to that young
appreciate you,
man.
man.
Chasing the dream, bro. Chasing the dream. And
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
I know that's also a big part of a lot of your work, and you do your dream mixes and stuff like that. So like,
Yes.
what does it mean to you to be able to chase those dreams, and what kind of helps fuel your dreams and your ambitions?
So dream to me, this is something that I always stand by. It's like the first thing, along with like waking up and doing something music related. That's the first thing I always post or always share is dream. And that stands for dream regardless of everything against me. To me, like there's always going to be obstacles in the way, no matter what it is, but chase your dreams, keep doing that. Don't worry about, what's going on in the background. Just listen to your heart and chase some dreams, man.
Absolutely. And I think a question that ties into that somebody had asked is like, what inspires you to write? Like, what's your inspiration?
What inspires me to write? Man, it's really just the fact that I feel like I don't have the average rap background. Like when I was just actually seriously getting into it, like I was just like, I'm not gonna be the average rapper rapping about all this and all that, hoopla hoopla, this east side west side, or like I'm in a gang, or like none of that, like
Yes.
like, or popping bottles in the club. That's not even really like what I do. Like honestly, I don't even like clubs, but like I just try to stay true to myself. Like big, like the biggest thing, or one of my like monikers or nicknames I like to call myself is like the Catholic school bastard, because like I went to Catholic school, so that's staying true to myself. Like, and I'm gonna always stay true to myself. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I was doing this and doing that, and then somebody calls me out, then I'm looking over here like looking stupid or foolish. No, just gotta stay true to yourself.
100,000%.
So,
1000%.
I mean, I didn't really answer the question, but I guess what motivates me is the passion to actually make these dreams come true. I feel like just the background I came in or grew up in or was raised in or my story, like you wouldn't expect any of that. Like the biggest compliment to me I love is when somebody hears my music and or they meet me for the first time and then I mention I rap or I do music or make music and I play it some day. It's like, oh, this you? Like it's like my alter ego. So it's like
Yes,
it's the passion. It's like Jones saying, it's the passion, man. It's the passion behind it. That's what fuels it.
absolutely. Is it like do you ever pull the trick like when you somebody might not know you do music, you just kind of like just play it on just to see what they gonna say? It's like,
I haven't done that in a while, but that literally just laughing makes me like it's making me want to do it more now. Seriously.
they're like, oh, this fire. Who is this? I ain't never heard of him. You like, oh yeah,
Right.
that just
Just be
happens
like,
to
it's
be
me. They be
me.
like, for real? You be like, yeah,
Right.
it's me.
But then,
They be
but
like,
then,
no, you playing, right? No,
right.
it's me.
But if they say it's trash, then you got to put them out the whip. They can't. They
Right.
got to catch the bus. They got to catch the bus after
For real, man.
that. So, uh, what's your favorite part about performing? Like, I know that's something that you were doing a lot of, like
Yeah.
pre-pandemic and stuff like that. And just following you and seeing a lot of that. What's your favorite part about performing?
Man, my favorite part is just that's where my energy really comes out. Like if you think I'm really being energetic on the track, just wait until you see me perform it. Like it's like levels to it. It's like the track is gonna be on this level, and you can be like, wow. Then when you see it in live, it's like on this level. Like performing to me is what really shows you as an artist. It's people that could rap all day and make good songs all day, and they could be trash performers. I feel like it's all different elements that go into the circle, of just being an artist. So I try to just come alive. I try to leave an impression. I try to make someone be like, man, like what is you doing? Like I need to hear more of that. Like so I try to leave an imprint as soon as I hit the stage. Like it just makes me feel free. It makes me feel like nothing can stop me, nothing can touch me.
And what was I gonna say? Like an example of that, exactly what you're talking about. I saw 21 Savage perform live last
Mm-hmm.
year, and I love his music. I could listen to his music all day. But him
Mm-hmm.
performing, I was like, this is horrible. This is
Isn't
trash.
that the worst though? It could be like one of your favorite artists and you see him perform, you like, man, I
Yeah,
don't even know if I really want to listen to you now because now all that's gonna be in the back of my mind is that performance that you had.
exactly. Exactly. And I think people used to, and it's also about being an artist and being able to grow as well. Because I think
That's true.
people used to say the same thing about Jay-Z. And then, but now, even though he's not doing a lot on stage, he makes sure
Mm-hmm.
that the choreography and everything else that's happening around him is
Yeah,
amazing. Whereas, like, you even forget he out there.
that's true. That's true. But like, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, I don't want to say 21 Savage doesn't have anything, but it's just hard. Like when you don't have those elements, like you don't have dancers
Yeah.
or you don't
Yeah.
do R&B. You have background singers or background vocals, or
Right.
you don't really use a live band. Like,
Right.
and that's gonna cause you to focus entirely on the artist.
Yep.
Then it's like, well, what are you bringing me?
Right.
Are you just gonna stand there and just rap on a mic? Or are you just gonna, what's gonna impress me?
Mm-hmm. And even some people DJs turn up, like
Yeah,
like they might be the actual like entertainment
for real.
next to the artist.
Man, DJs get slept on when it comes to like, cause that's a whole job. You gotta hype everybody up before
Yeah,
the artist even comes on. Like
1000%.
that's a whole. I gotta give props to all DJs that do
Absolutely. And in another life, I will probably be a DJ, but
that.
you gotta play the cards you was dealt.
For real. I feel you, man. I thought about it, but I was like, man, I don't know. Let's just stick to the music for the one time.
Right, right. I had a question that kind of ties into that a little bit, what we were just
Mm-hmm.
talking about. And somebody wants to know, how would you encourage young men, young black men specifically, in regards to following their dreams when it comes to doing music or being an artist? Like, what type of advice would you give to them?
My biggest advice is literally like dream regardless of everything against me. And the me ain't just me, it means you. It's just being personal with it. Like it doesn't matter what obstacles are in your way, like you can make that dream come true. Like I don't know, like you may think it's a certain path, that you want to take, and Lord behold, that won't even be the path, but you'll still be like achieving your dreams and you don't even realize it. Like, just make sure you stay true to yourself when you're chasing those dreams as well. And I would say also, like, I feel like a lot in the Black community, especially men, it's a lot of like, I don't want to say stereotypes, but a lot of times we're taught to just be strong, you know, or don't be emotional or show your emotions. The greatest thing about like music or even chasing your dreams, you're allowed to put your emotions into that. You're allowed to showcase those things. Don't like let that be a mental blockade, like, oh, I gotta be a tough guy or I gotta be this and that. Like, express yourself.
Absolutely, and I love that advice, because that's a big thing that we all deal with, and I think a lot of people have more conversations in regards to like Black men and just young men in general showing emotion, and you don't have to always be the tough guy and stuff like that, which is important. And I think that some of the, like you said, some of the best music that we've ever heard comes from an emotional place. Man, woman, Black, white, it doesn't matter, but it comes from a real raw emotional place. So I think that's some great advice that you gave us.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely. So thinking about artists in general, like who are people that you are listening to right now? Like who got your ear like musically in the industry, or just anybody that you know of in general?
I'll say this for sure. One of my idols, Big Sean. Detroit 2 has been all I've been like playing since it came out. Can't stop playing it. I've literally, I think I'm like working on 3 dream mixes. Like I just started working on the 3rd one just because that's how much I've been listening to the album. I'm like, let me do another dream mix to Detroit 2. Like, so I would say that. I would say Detroit 2. I like Childish Gambino. Cause he can be straight up rap, but then he literally could be like out of this universe and just doing a million things. And you're like, man, what is he doing? Like he was just rapping right here and now he's singing right here. Like it's just so much. J. Cole, like he puts me on a lyricist level. Like it's kind of like and these are like idols, inspirations of mine. Like they all cause me to think or take my music to a certain level, you know?
I love it. Absolutely. I mean, it sounds like we listen to pretty much the same stuff.
Man, for real.
I mean, I throw a little bit of some Detroit artists in there as well. Some FBDZ, some Sada Baby.
Okay.
Sprinkling a little bit of those, and then we pretty much got the same playlist. You gotta have that duality. You gotta be.
That's true. I ain't gonna lie. Listen. So like when it comes to like anything that's like Detroit music, other than like mainstream, like Big Sean and stuff like that, that's like my ratchet side. I gotta be doing something like I gotta be turning up, or I gotta be getting into something, and that'll come out. But like when I'm just by myself, being or writing in the mode, like it's like lyricist. That's something I pride myself on. So I try to always listen to like anything a lyricist is gonna say, or something that's just gonna have me thinking.
1000%. And who is your inspiration? Like, who do you look up to as an artist, and that you get that you draw inspiration from?
It's definitely it's kind of a toss up, because it's definitely Big Sean, because he's from the home city, he's from the hometown. But then it's also J. Cole, because like J. Cole, like he went to college, like, and that's what always stood out to me. It's like he went to college. Like, you don't hear that a lot of times that an artist, like not even a musician, just artists in general, like go to college or did something educational that like may have helped them or helped them grow in that like field that they're doing.
And I think that's very important too. That's one thing that a lot of people, that kind of goes overlooked by a lot of people. Like J. Cole got a degree, Lil Wayne has multiple degrees, 2 Chainz has a degree, like these, like Plies has a degree, like these.
2 Chainz had a whole 4.0.
Yeah,
people be like, what?
Right.
Like, man, you can't just be a businessman just to be a businessman. Come on, it's like if somebody's a businessman, they got to be smart, or not that they got to be, they are smart.
Right.
Like you can't just expect somebody like that, like just to be dumb as rocks. Like.
Yeah, we ain't got to get into the whole education reform conversation, because I can go on for days about that. But like you said, these are very intelligent, very smart people. Their brains just work in different ways, they operate in different ways. So like, they in a different universe, they would have been Harvard caliber. Let me rephrase that. They are Harvard caliber people and students and things like that. but because the way the world works, that's not what you told. So, definitely, like I said, that's another sermon for another day.
We can spend a whole hour just talking on that.
Exactly. So I was going to ask you, who would you say, or why do you feel like it's important to support either Black artists like yourself or just Black business in general? Like, what makes that important to you?
So it's like, this is going to be a twofold answer, kind of dealing with it. One is nothing better than no better feeling than supporting a Black business, knowing the blood, sweat, hard work, and tears they put into whatever service or product that you're getting, and knowing also that that's helping build a community, that's helping making a community strong. You have all these name brands, and they're not going to do anything for the community. For example, what is Gucci doing for the community?
Yeah.
What is Louis Vuitton doing for us? Why do we have to always find them okay, and then when they do something racist or racial or just something that's out of pocket, we got to question them or be they canceled? No, it's better just to support a Black business. And granted, I'm not gonna lie, I have my fair share of clothing that aren't Black owned, but that's the greatest thing is realizing it and working on it. Actually, what I'm wearing right now is, well, you can't really see, but it's the K Walker Collective. And that's one of my favorite brands right now that I love wearing. And it's nothing better knowing, okay, I didn't just give money to a corporation that I don't know where that money's going. I know where this money is going, to a prominent Black man who's building a prominent business,
Mm-hmm.
And then, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's my fault. That's my fault. You still going.
So I would say, yes, it is velvet.
Hey, that joint's fire. I need one.
No, I swear, as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is fire. This is lit. I've never seen something like this. I had to cop it.
Listen, I'm gonna have to get that link from you, because I for sure need a velvet or
man, I got you.
In the near
and
future.
The crazy thing is, y'all can't see the bottom, but it's shorts too. That's the crazy dope part of it.
That boy clean,
man. But also, I also love supporting Black artists, because that's something I wish some people would have supported me when I first came out or first started rapping. I felt one of my biggest things was I felt not a lot of people were supporting me. And sometimes you gotta not worry about who's supporting you, but worry just about doing what's making you happy. And what I try to do is I try to support people. I try to give free game to as many people as I can. People may not know about distribution. They don't know about getting your music on platforms. They may still only know about SoundCloud and Audio Mac. So I try to teach as much as I can, or give out as much info to make sure people know and how to elevate their music, take it higher and further.
Absolutely. And that's a big part of the reason why we as the collab wanted to start the connection. We wanted to be able to support our own. We wanted to give back to our own by way of supporting our own.
Yeah.
Being able to put different artists, different people on display, and show how much talent is in that city of Detroit, and just how much talent we have, period, and how much we possess. So
man, forget that. The scholarship is real, is a big deal too. That's also amazing that y'all do that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. It's all a part of the cycle. We got to be able to, we understand now as adults, but we got to be able to pump back into the next generation so that they can take us further. That's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Most definitely.
If we knew better back then when we was their age, then we would have did better. But we try to make sure that they know better so that they can do better. And you just gotta keep passing the torch. And then also recognizing the amount of talent that we have around us right now. So let's make sure that we use that. Let's amplify that, and let's keep that going. So definitely we speak in the same language when it comes to that. So with you being independent, doing your thing on your own, what has been because I want people to know that everything is not always sweet being your own boss or your entrepreneur.
Right.
For real. I want to know what's your best experience, just kind of being on your own and running things, and then what has been your worst experience being on your own and running things?
I would say the best experience, hands down, was being selected to perform for Arts Beats and Eats. That was a dream come true. I literally just applied on a fluke. I remember it was a day I was at work, and I was like, man, I think I saw something. I saw something, or somebody sent me info like applying for River Days, and I was like, okay, let me apply for that. And then I show it, like somehow I like when I'm in the zone, like applying for stuff, I do clicks, like one click take me here, one click take me there.
Yeah.
And somehow I ended up on the page to apply for Arts, Beats, and East. And I was like, granted, for real, I wasn't like thinking like, oh, they gonna call me. Like, so I applied. Next thing you know, I get a call from them. They're like, Arts, Beats, and Eats, like the festival is canceled, but we're still holding like a virtual aspect of it. Would you like to be a part of it? I was like, I would love it. Like, that's a dream come true. Like,
Yeah.
so that hands down has been the best experience. My worst is, it's not that I can really think specifically what's the worst, but like I would say just like when you find out like discrepancies, like when you working or collaborating with someone. So like, for example, like not like, let's say you're working with somebody and you find out they don't have the exclusive to the beat.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I don't really like doing anything unless I have the exclusive. I want to make sure we're getting all the income coming from that. So
Absolutely.
finding out that last minute, that's kind of a weak, I wouldn't say a weakness, but a little bit irritating. When you want to put something, or when you collaborate with somebody and like you want to put it on like a mainstream or like major digital streaming platforms, and due to that, like not having that exclusive, you got to put it on like lower platforms like SoundCloud or Audio Mac. So I would say those for sure. Or excuse me, everything just keeps popping in my head. I would say even like split sheets. So like knowing like, okay, after we did this track together, like making sure everybody gets their pay, or can make sure everybody's publishing gets straight or is set for the record. And sometimes like even when I do collaborate and I mention that, some people will be like, I have no idea about that. And that's when I'm like, okay, well, I won't probably work with you right now, but check this out. Like, look into getting your publishing, becoming BMI or ASCAP, making sure you copywriting your stuff so you can do this. Cause like, it's not even just for me, it's for yourself. If you don't do that, it's going to be people that could just take your work anytime, any place, and you're just going to be stuck there twiddling your thumbs.
Keep dropping the gems on them, man. Keep dropping the gems on them. There's so many people that definitely need to hear that. And like, even though me not being an artist or a musician, it's still parts of that will apply to me just doing business in general. Or even if you're just a creative, like you're saying, copyright, trademark, or things of that nature that might not be as music specific, but it's just as important.
Yes, it is. It definitely is.
So what would you say is, or what advice would you have for Black businesses in general, or Black professionals in general who just trying to, thrive in their field, be the best they can be, follow their passion? Like, what advice would you give them if you had a single piece of advice?
My single piece of advice is literally going to be everything I preach every day. Dream, man. Like, dream regardless of everything that's up against you, every obstacle that's in your way. Like, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. It's just about the amount of work you're willing to put in. It's if you're willing to just quit after so many obstacles. Are you willing to keep it up, or you willing to be like, okay, let me take a break and move on to something else that still applies to this and still can allow me to build?
Right.
Absolutely. So I would really just say, man, just strive for greatness. Also, man, I'm sorry. I'm
keep
a talker,
going, keep going.
So keep popping
in
my head.
Let them loose.
But I would say don't listen to all the negative feedback as well. Like, focus on what your site, what your vision is. It's gonna be a lot of people that doubt you or question what you're doing, and that's okay. They could do that, but don't doubt or question yourself. Keep pushing. My biggest motivator is I like proving people wrong. So like, if you told me no, I'm gonna be like, one, why did I get that no? I'm gonna obsess over that no. Then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna show you why I should have never got that no. And then you're gonna come back like, listen, I ain't mean it like that. So like, that's just like the little bit of the competitiveness in me. But I would say for sure,
looking for revenge.
Yup.
I love it. I think the same way. So we definitely on the same wave, man. All right, so now it's time for the fun part. I got some questions that I did not send to you on purpose
Oh man,
because
oh
I
man.
want I want the genuine, honest response. This is gonna help everybody watching get a better understanding of who Kyle Mack is. So,
Okay.
so we're gonna do a little bit of this or that. All right. So first up, I think I know the answer to this, but go ahead and
All
tell us
right.
anyway. Big Sean or Sada Baby?
Big Sean.
Big Sean. Okay. All right.
Listen. Don't get me wrong though. If I'm turned up, I'm all for the side of
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
For real, for real.
East or West?
East.
East. Okay. All right. Shout out to the East. All right. So listen, you're at the Coney. You're getting chili cheese fries. Do you
Okay.
get sliced cheese or squeezed cheese?
Sliced cheese, hands down.
Sliced cheese. Okay. Interesting choice. So if you had to go into your alternative bag when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to music, would you go with rock and roll or country?
Man. The crazy thing is, if I'm in the mood, it really could be either, but I'm gonna do rock and roll for sure.
Rock and roll. I figured it would be
Yeah.
rock and roll because I could definitely hear you on a Linkin Park beat or something. Like I think you can.
Man.
I think you can finesse that.
And the crazy thing is, I literally try to like sometimes like if I'm listening like something alternative or rock or something, I will just randomly like rhyme with it, like just to be like, so it's always I don't want to ever be confined to a box.
Right.
I like to be very versatile, like so I like to rap over any genre. So if it's a challenge or it's something I'm like that's different, I'll just do it.
Love
or
it.
try or go for it.
Got to keep that versatility. Got to keep that versatility going. All right. So would you? Let's see. We're talking about eras, 90s or 2000s.
90s, hands
90s.
down, 90s.
Okay. Shout out to the 90s. Football or basketball?
I don't even know if 2000 babies like what do you say? What do you say? This is for the like the like two O's babies? That doesn't even make any sense. Like it doesn't have any like swag or nothing to it.
Yeah, I think we lucked up. I think we lucked up being born when we
For
were.
real.
Basketball or football?
I'm gonna say basketball.
Basketball. Okay. Shout out to hooping. Red
Yes.
or blue?
I'm wearing blue right now, so you already know it's blue.
Okay. All right.
Although the best is when you put them two together. That's when it's fire.
See, I ain't got the swag to pull that off. So you
I don't have swag, bro. Look at man, come on, get out of here. Get out of here. I was wearing a uniform for the longest time for consecutive days in a row. I ain't got swag.
Oh man. All right, now we're gonna get into some real ones. So money or power?
I'm gonna say money for sure. Power gets it's really a toss up because either one gets to people's heads. But for sure, after like me and my fiance, we just finished Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And literally like one of the biggest things like that was taking people's lives and that was the power.
Yeah.
Like, people just wanted power way, way too much. Like and then once you get that power, you just acting reckless. Money, I feel like that's a little different because that's your own fault. You was just acting reckless once you done got the bag. So you ain't that. I can't teach you that. But when it comes to power, you should really be able to see every person that was before you, what they did wrong, and improve on your position.
Right. Absolutely. Now, what about, would you rather have love or respect?
Love all day.
Love. Okay. Love conquers all. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say this. So you independent right now.
Mm-hmm.
You get a phone call tomorrow, and it's from Big Money Records. They like, listen, we need Kyle Mack. We want to sign you. Everything is right. Let's say everything is good with the deal. They're not trying to 360 you or nothing like that. It's exactly what you want. Would you go with the record label, or do you continue to stay independent?
If it's everything I want, I honestly would go with the label just because it's going to be some aspects from a label that you need to help elevate your career, or it's going to be things they're going to be able to provide that you may not be able to provide. So, and it's like you said, if everything's perfect, for sure, no questions asked. It's going to be the label.
I love it. I love that. And I think that's kind of my approach to a lot of things, is that there's always something to be learned before you kind of get to that point. Like, if everything, falls in your favor and you're in position to jump out the window and, you know, do what you got to
Right.
do and be a full entrepreneur, or, you know, go deep into whatever it is that you're going deep into, then more power to you. But I feel like it's kind of steps to it, and it's always
Yeah.
something to be learned along the way. And then I feel like that kind of pushes you further along once you get to where it is that you want to be, and like be your own boss or running whatever it is that you want to run. Like, it's something to be learned in every step. So
Exactly.
that I really like the answer that you gave, in regards to, you know, just saying like, oh man, forget the what's the name. Like, I'm not gonna do that. But if they come
Right.
correct, then you like, of course I could use their
Right. Plus, you never know, man, what connections you can make from there. They could help you in the long run. Like, it's just like, I think sometimes people just get caught up in like, oh no, they trying to do this, or I don't need that. Like, the pride is kind of like in the way, and sometimes you just gotta forget the pride.
Exactly. Exactly. And so I'm gonna go to a question that somebody had asked, in
Hmm.
the chat. They wanted to know, how do you, well, you know, we already established that you full time into your artistry, but how do you kind of like, I'll rephrase the question. How do you make time for your artwork? So like, how do you kind of like schedule and make time for, you know, to, you know, be pursuing your dream and stuff like that?
So really, my biggest thing lately is I've been trying to at least write a 16 a day. If not a 16, it's got to be at least a minimum 8 bars. Like, and that's just so my mind is always on the focus of writing. Like, I've been just trying to pump out as many songs as I can, just because I love it right now. Like, I still have that fresh feeling of leaving my job, knowing everything depends on me. You know, it's my own business. I would say that for sure. I also like, I have like spur of the moments like creativity. Like, so let's say I just thought of a random idea. I'm like, okay, let me write this idea down. Let me get, like, later on, I may be away from my desk, or I may be away from like my creative space. Later on, I try that creativity out, or I try that thought out and see where that works. Then you just got moods. It's kind of like moods for everything. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like I'm even when I'm not like even when I'm not focused on writing, I'm gonna have a mood to write. Like, I just heard this song, I can't stop thinking about the beat, I want to write to it. Or like, shoot, even when it comes to social media, I may be up just thinking about stuff, and just I may be writing what, like, if I see a photo or it's something that I'm showcasing, I write what's truly on my mind, because just that's like where I'm coming from. Like, it may be it's been a long time coming for a lot of stuff. So I like to always keep like captions long personally, because that's just showing who I am and
Yeah.
my true self.
Yeah. And that's dope. Like, being able to, you know, that if you have something, then being
Hmm.
able to like just take the time and pause and be like, okay, let me explore this out. Let me, you know, flush this out of my mind, make
Yep.
sure that I got it down, and then, you know, I can get back into it or whatever. But I need to make sure like I keep this idea going, like I keep this wave going. And I really like the consistency of trying to write, you know, 16 a day, and like just
Yeah.
being able to, you know, always have that a part of your schedule and your repertoire, and making sure that that's, an important part of your day. You know, whether, you know, you're doing it as soon as you get up, or if it at some point in time that 16 got to be done. And like,
Yeah.
I ain't going to sleep without that 16.
Pretty much, man. Like, I'm telling you.
So I
So
definitely,
it's literally, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but it's
no,
been
go ahead.
days, like, literally, I'm like, it's getting late. I'm like, man, I'm hungry. And I'll literally be like, oh, if you hungry, you better finish this 16 then. Like,
Hey, and shout out to the dedication. Shout out to the dedication for sure. So, two things I'm gonna do. First,
hmm.
anybody watching, if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat or ask them in the questions part. And
Shouts out to
then
everybody watching.
shout out to everybody watching. Definitely appreciate you. Much love. And then the second thing I'm gonna do is, while they're doing that, while people are thinking of if they got any questions, I want
Hmm.
you to tell us what's next for Kyle Mack. What do you have going on? What should we expect next? What should we see next?
Okay. So what's next for me is I'm gonna have a project coming out. It's either gonna be end of the fall or beginning of winter, called Catholic School Bastard. This is my first like full length mixtape since, I want to say, I don't even know how many years ago this was, but it's since Grown Kid Status. So it's like it's a lot of stuff that's fresh. I've been playing a lot of new music for some people. They've been loving it. I feel like this is my best music. So really, new project on the way. I'm also going to be doing something special with that project. I can't release all the info for it just because it's something that's amazing in the works and I'm still working on it, but it's going to be awesome. Plan on having like a release party with it. I would say just doing that and releasing more music. You know, I love, lately the biggest thing I love is interviews. I like that because I'm actually somebody that's like, I'm kind of closed off.
Mm-hmm.
And these interviews allow me to open up, you know, and tell more about myself. So I would say just more music, more interviews, more vibes, more. I like collaborating, so more working with other people, other artists as well.
Absolutely, man, and definitely, I wanna be invited to that listening session. So
I
when
got
that
you.
listening party, I
I
definitely want
got
to
you.
get the invite, bro. And I'm
I
looking
got you
forward
for
to
sure.
hearing new stuff from you. I was catching up on some of your stuff the other day, and I really
Mhm.
enjoy. Like I can see the progression, like from the stuff that I heard, like when I first met you, like all the way until
Mhm.
now. And so I'm
Yeah.
definitely appreciate it, bro, and definitely appreciate the dedication, man, to the craft. And it shows. It's showing in
Thank you.
your work. So I had two questions for you, and both of them are really
Okay.
good. So one
Okay.
question is, how do you and your fiance support each other's passions?
We support it is man. We like twins. So like she supports me, I support her. Like it's just we're better as a unit together. Like we just run so smooth. So like, and the biggest thing that I like to brag about, like my fiance has her own business, Simple Dot Natural, you know, body butters and body scrubs. And like I support her business. I'll buy her stuff. Like some people, like when if they have a significant other, they may get they like that person's the plug, you know. I don't mind supporting her. Like that's because I believe in what she does and I want to support the business as much as possible. She supports me, she gives me her honest feedback. She's at shows, she's at studio sessions, you know, so it's really, we just always try to make sure we could do whatever we can do to help each other just elevate, whether it's us as people or you know us as our businesses as well.
Hey man, that's beautiful, and I really love that because and I know that following her as well. I follow both of y'all and seeing like she got a bunch of different stuff going on as well, and like it's just beautiful to hear like how you have that support and like literally like you like I buy the product like and you paying full price, ain't you?
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
I
You ain't asking for
right.
no discount.
For real, man.
You ain't like, hey baby, I need 25% off. Like, give
Man,
me something. You paying
what
full
man,
price.
the thing is, because listen, this is the thing. One for one, it's helping her business, and then two, I look, it's like me taking care of my family without taking
Hey,
care of my family in a sense.
right,
So like
right.
I just like that. I love that. All and it's like, you know what I'm saying? She a black business. I got
Yeah.
nothing but love and support.
Yes, yes. We love it. We love to hear it. We love to hear it, bro. And the last one was how do you rejuvenate? So for myself, like I know like yesterday, like because I had a long work week, like when I
Mm-hmm.
when I put down my computer, like I was just done. Like, I didn't feel like doing anything. And like
Yeah.
I have different other things going on as well.
Mm-hmm.
But like I just sat down, I was like, man, I don't feel like doing nothing. So like when you get in those type of modes, how do you rejuvenate? Like what gets you back going?
What gets me back going is usually like I like what I've been doing recently is watching a lot of music videos because it has a lot of art aspects to it.
Yeah.
And so that like causes me to re-trigger my creativity, like, oh, I should do this, or I should try and do this. Or like honestly, new music just does it. I literally could just be feeling stale for a week or unmotivated for a day, and I can hear a song and I'll be like, well, that person went in, well, I gotta go in. I gotta get back to this. Like that's the biggest like rejuvenation. I will also say I haven't I've taken a few 3 weeks off, but I would say working out. Like working out, running and yoga. Those are my two biggest things.
Dope. Zen Master.
Man, zen the
ZZFO.
out, you know.
ZZFO.
Exactly.
So to kind of wrap everything up, tell the people where they can find you, where they can find your music. That was one of the earlier questions, and where they
Okay.
can find everything. Kyle Mack.
Absolutely, absolutely. You guys can follow me on IG and Twitter at Kyle Mack Ave at KYLEMACKAVE. My music is streaming on all digital streaming platforms, whether that be Tidal, Napster, Spotify, Apple Music. Like it doesn't matter. Also been dropping dream mixes, so those are just on my Audio Mac though, because Don't feel like getting sued for like $2 million, and I don't got that in the bag yet. So you can check those out on Audio Mac, and just search me under Kyle Mack. I'm pretty sure you can even search my username, Kyle Mack Ave. I try to make sure all my social media ties in.
Absolutely. Hey, man, this has been, I definitely appreciate you one more time taking the time, brother. It's always a good vibe talking to you, man. I always learn something new.
No, always. Thank
energy.
you for even having me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I told you, that was you was on the short list. That was a done deal.
It's an honor, for real, man. I'm proud of you, and you're doing big things, man. Like, it's stuff like what you doing. Like, you went and got your MBA, went to Miami. Then you went from Miami, and then you going to Seattle. Like, stuff like that is motivating. Like, stuff like that is what be helping push my music as well. Like, okay, somebody I know is making these moves. I want to be sitting at a type of table with them doing those type of moves. So, no, thank you, bro. Thank you for your motivation. Thank you for allowing me to be on the show. Just thank you for everything.
No, man, absolutely. Hey, man, I definitely appreciate the kind words, bro. And listen, when I get a seat at the table, we all at the table.
Facts.
We all at the table, bro. We all.
I feel you. Same here, man.
Absolutely. So I'm definitely gonna catch up with you soon, bro. And
okay,
we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Appreciate everybody watching us. Everybody tapping into the live. Make sure you go check out Kyle Mack. Make sure you stay tuned to Black Fridays. We will be back next Friday with another guest. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up.
All right. See y'all. Thank y'all. Peace.
All right.
Niggas skip the ball 'cause we mad at dogs. Snatch you from 89, 7 pack in the drawers, and we clap the doors of your act.